Hey writers, I am so excited to start today's lesson with you because we are actually going to be writing. I do want to just point out that our two essential questions for this unit are, how does my community impact me? And how have I been affected by my community? We are writing memoirs. So you'll find that your writing is automatically going to involve your community, the people and the places around you. Our objective for this lesson is I can use a brainstorming strategy to gather ideas and important details to help start my writing. I just want to point out something real quick because it's different than how we have normally been doing our guided notes and our videos. Your guided notes for Writer's Workshop unit, the notes are mostly going to have examples of my writing. Your Writer's Workshop journal, that's where you're going to be doing your work. That's what you're going to be turning into Schoology. So as we get started in writing, let's take a look at this chart here, steps for developing. First step is choose a topic. Keep in mind our essential question. Again, our essential questions, how does my community impact me? How have I been affected by my community? Now it says for us to check this generating ideas chart to help us choose a topic. All right, before you get started, before I talk more about this chart itself, I just want you to take a real quick second and write down who makes up your community, who is in your community. So for me, I consider my community to include my family, the town where I grew up, my friends, and teams because I played sports growing up. So when keeping in mind your community, side note, your community is gonna kind of just automatically like spark ideas for your writing because this is pretty much your whole life, right? So let's get looking at this list real quick. The first time you did something, so maybe like in town or with a friend or with a family, the last time you did something, if you ever went somewhere special, if you met someone special, if you ever learned a lesson or realized something important about life. For me, these two, they sometimes come after I've reflected on those memories. So these kind of come after reflection. So after I spent a little bit of time looking at this list and thinking, some memories are kind of more powerful for me than others. And I want to challenge you all to write about a really powerful memory. So something that really, really impacted you or affected you in some way. For me, I'm going to write about the first time I did something. So for me, I'm going to write about the first time that we had dinner as a family after my mom's surgery. So my mom had skin cancer. And after her surgery, we all had dinner as a family. And that was something like really big that we did and really important to me. Okay, so looking back at this chart, we already did step 1. Now we're on step 2. So think of a specific problem related to your topic or think of something that you wanted related to your topic. So if you remember the 6 elements of a memoir, these are going to be our conflict and motivation. So now I'm going to work on that second step, which is think of what was the motivation or something that you wanted related to your topic and what was a conflict or like a problem related to your topic. So the first time I did something, and like I just shared, that was our first family dinner after my mom's surgery. Okay, so what I wanted for things to go back to like normal. Usually when something like really dramatic or like a big life change happens, you kind of just want things to go back to normal. And that's really what I wanted. And I wanted for my family to be together. Like I wanted my mom to be happy. And the conflict, the problem that kind of stopped that from happening was, right, my mom's surgery. And that made her kind of like feel sad. It made her like not able to do stuff. She had to rest. All right. All right, looking back at this same chart again, we have done step 1. I chose a topic. We did step 2, right? Thought of a problem or a want. And now we're going to use one of these brainstorming strategies. I'm going to use a flow map. You can do anything that works for you. Draw a sketch, draw a picture of what's happening, Venn diagram, or a bullet point list. Just use whatever you're comfortable with. I'm going to do this one right now. So now I'm going to use this multi-flow map to help me start brainstorming my topic. In the middle box here, you're going to put the motivation of your story or just the topic that you're writing about. For me, I'm writing about the first time that my family had dinner together after my mom's surgery. All right, and in these boxes on the side here, you are going to put like the things that kind of caused the problem or that kind of like contributed to like what made this difficult. So for me, the reason that this first family dinner or just having a family dinner in general was difficult was because my mom needed time to heal. And she was stuck in bed like that whole time. She couldn't get out, she couldn't move around, she couldn't do things that she normally would do. And another thing that kind of caused this problem or caused this to be difficult was she couldn't help with things. Kind of similar to that one right there, but she usually really like was always busy and always helping and always doing things for the family, but she couldn't do that because she needed time to heal. That's what made this family dinner or just a dinner really difficult. Another thing that made it difficult was my mom was feeling really sad. Obviously, it took a long time to heal. It was painful for her, and she didn't really want people over. All right, so all these 3 things made this first having a family dinner difficult. All right, so now in these other 3 boxes over here is kind of what goes after your story or after the problem. So, right, what happened after the problem was solved, and maybe what were the lessons that you learned. So for me, mine was that family comes together to take care of each other, right? So my family all came together and helped and made this dinner possible. That was kind of like something that helped made it possible for us to have that family dinner. Another thing that I learned is that we all need each other. Like, I couldn't have had that family dinner without the help of everybody. And another lesson that I learned is sometimes you have to take care of your parents. So after finishing that flow map, I was able to work on a draft of my story. So it's a first draft. Keep in mind that it will change and it will develop a lot. But you can read my example on your guided notes. And after this lesson, you're going to be writing your own first draft. 2 things I want to remind us of as we write powerful memoirs is focus on one moment, all right? Write with lots of detail. Don't summarize things and stretch it out, right? Stretching it out includes adding detail. What did you see? Who was there? As much detail as you can. This is going to help your readers picture the moment. And go ahead and add some small action and dialogue.